know what you're thinking. I'm good and powerful, apparently. Jealous?
What you just saw was our first look at the Netflix series, Sonic Prime, which, thank you! I was really starting to feel like I was the only person who cared about this show, and was desperately waiting for something to come out every passing day. But before we talk about that, I want to give a quick mention to the fact that today is the 20th anniversary of the first Spider-Man movie. This means a lot to me since I grew up with this trilogy and I love it to death, so happy anniversary. Netflix After School, which is where they show off their animated projects, gave us our first look at Sonic Prime, and they saved this as a surprise to end it off with, which is really cool that they gave Sonic that honor, and I think it goes to show that they're really treating it with respect. They didn't show much, but like I said, it's just nice to finally see something. They showed a shot of Sonic running through Green Hill collecting rings, and he's in the classic figure 8 animation, which I always love seeing Sonic in the figure 8 animation, so I think that's really cool. So this confirms that Green Hill will be in the show. Obviously, we don't know if they're going to keep going back to Green Hill as their home, or if it'll only appear in the first episode, but considering that the show is going to be about a multiverse, I think we'll only see Sonic Prime's version of Green Hill in the first episode, and if we see Green Hill again, it'll be a different version from another universe. Normally, nowadays, Sonic fans would roll their eyes over seeing Green Hill again, but this isn't a game, and it's an entirely new iteration of Sonic the Hedgehog, so stuff like this is where it's acceptable. Then we get a nice close-up look at Sonic, and his character model looks fantastic, and him holding a ring is a nice touch. We don't know what functionality these rings will serve, whether it'll be like Sonic X or SAT-AM, where the rings were used for power, or if it'll be like the SCU, where the rings were used as portals. It could really be either one, since Sonic talks about being powerful, so that could mean that the rings are used for power, or they could be portals like in the SCU to generate brand synergy, which I can imagine them doing. But while Sonic's character model looks great, the Green Hill background stuff looks kinda off. The grass looks unpolished and lacking of detail, where it just looks like a flat green texture, but I do like the purple hue to the sky. This is also where, to my surprise, we hear a new Sonic voice actor. Sonic will be voiced by Devin Mack in the show. I was surprised to hear that it wasn't Roger Craig Smith, and the reason why it isn't is because the show is being made in Canada, and they can only use Canadian voice actors. So this also means that Colleen O'Shaughnessy will sadly not be voicing Tails in this, and even Mike Pollock won't be voicing Eggman, which is so weird to think about, since it's been almost 20 years of him being the only voice of Eggman. So it's so weird to think that we're about to hear someone else voicing Eggman, but hopefully whoever will be doing it will do a good job. There is a full cast list, but we don't know who is going to be voicing who. We only know that Devin Mack is Sonic, so this doesn't really mean much right now. And regarding my overall thoughts on Devin Mack as Sonic, I actually don't like it. He sounds like a combination between Roger and Ben, but he is switching between the two of them instead of finding a balance between them or just picking one and sticking with it. But Sonic voice actors always have a rough first time around, and Ben was the only exception to the rule, so I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt and hope that he improves if they make a second season, but even with that in mind, I still think that they could have found a better option. And in general, it's pretty strange that we're now living in an era where there are 3 separate Sonic voice casts. And each individual thing has its own cast, since obviously this is going to have its own cast. The games are keeping Roger, so that's going to be its own cast as well. And the SCU has its own cast. This was obviously just a little sneak peek, and it's not really a full-blown trailer, of which we should be receiving a trailer later on in the future, but most Netflix shows don't really show trailers until a month before the show releases, so that would mean that, worst case scenario, if Prime is releasing in December, we probably won't see a trailer until November. So it's probably going to be a while until we see more footage of the show, but at least we finally got something, so I'm good until the trailer comes out. But since we saw the Sonic Origins trailer, and Prime just had its sneak peek, you know what that means. Sonic Frontiers better come up to bat sometime soon. If we don't see anything of Frontiers by the end of June, the marketing is gonna sink to a new low, and if we don't see anything by then, I think it's safe to assume that the game is gonna get delayed to 2023. So that's all, folks. Let me know what you thought of our first look at Sonic Prime, and what you think of Sonic's new voice. I may not like it, but it's better than Martin Burke from the Sonic OVA, that's for sure.